This Call of Duty, often described as the Call of Duty that revived Call of Duty series. So, how does it hold up in 2023? And is it really the game that everyone loved before? I'm gonna answer that in today's video. Bring some chips or tea or whatever the fuck you want and sit right back and relax and enjoy. It's obviously a modern Call of Duty, so it has a modern settings. If I can describe Call of Duty Modern Warfare as multiplayer in one word, it would be merge, because it has a bit of everything into it. You have the fast gameplay base of Call of Duty, and you have quite honestly the big maps and big game mode and all of the different attachments and things of Battlefield, and you have all the different abilities and the field upgrade of Overwatch and some other games. So if you're into anything, you will probably find it in Call of Duty Modern Warfare as multiplayer. Let's start with the guns. I like the guns very much. I felt like they're pretty balanced. I like the Call of Duty MW2, the OG MW2 guns, but it wasn't very balanced, but they were fun to shoot. But in this one, they are fun to shoot in fact, and they are pretty balanced, most of them. Now obviously this is a Call of Duty, so of course it has an overpowered guns like the shotguns, and holy shit are they broken. Yeah, the shotguns are broken. And of course it's a Call of Duty, so some guns are more suitable in certain game modes more than other, but the guns were pretty fun because you can customize it all you want, and as much as you customize it, there's the pros and the cons. So I'm not very sure where I stand on this idea, but I don't mind it that much. I don't like it. Obviously I like the old style back, but I don't mind it that much. So in every attachment you put into your weapon, there's pros and cons. Like maybe if you put a better aiming sight, you will have a slower time to aim, and you can put perks into your guns, like your bullets can go through the walls and stuff, just like the older Call of Duties. So yeah, if it hasn't been clear, I like the guns very much, and the shooting isn't very different because the shooting in MW is pretty fun actually. It must be my favorite multiplayer shooter ever in terms of the combat, because holy shit, does shooting people in this game feels satisfying. I don't know, what is it? Is it maybe the sounds or the hit detection? I'm not very sure, but I like it very much. And you can cut the limbs of your enemies. That was pretty brutal from Call of Duty, but I like it there. Now into the maps. Yeah, it's not very cool, but let me tell you something. Call of Duty Modern Warfare has very fast movement, okay? So in most of the cases, I wouldn't mind the maps because the movement is very fast, but in this one, the movement is very fast and the maps is not designed to that movement. I feel like most of them. Now obviously you have some pretty good maps, but most of the times I feel the maps are some kind of frustrating, but it's a small problem in a game which has huge pros. And I didn't mention that about the maps, but there are a lot of remakes from the older Call of Duties, and I'm not very sure how I feel about that idea, because I think that the maps is designed for a certain COD or a certain game that is not for this game, because the movement of this one is 180 degrees different from all of the other Call of Duties. It's a lot faster actually. So yeah, maps are important, but it's not the defining factor of a multiplayer which should be good or bad. And you have different game modes which I like very much. In this one you have the Ground War. That's what I said, it has a huge battle scale of Battlefield, which I liked very much. And yeah, it's smaller than Battlefield obviously, and it doesn't have that much of chaos that Battlefield have. It has that Call of Duty taste into the Ground War. So Ground War is like Conquest in Battlefield pretty much, and the game did it fine. It's a pretty okay mode. I like having it. And you have the Cypher attack, which pretty much is like search and destroy, but you have to pick a bomb and then plant it in the opponent site, and plus you can revive your friendlies. So that was a pretty cool mode. And you have the 1v1, which is pretty much a mode when you face off one enemy, which was very fun indeed. And you have certain maps for it, and I like it. And the 2v2, same rules, same gameplay, except the game choose what weapon and equipment you have to use. I like it as well. And all of the other game modes. And Headquarters is fucking amazing. I like the basing of this mode very much, bro. It's very shame that I didn't play this mode in the past because it's dead. My personal favorite would have to be the free-for-all. Most of my enjoyment have been through the free-for-all, and you have pretty fine perks, but I always stick to one perk or two, which is probably on my end, but I feel like the game doesn't offer the same perks for everyone. Like yeah, there is perks obviously better than the other ones. A very cool kill streak. I like the Wilson very much. Take a freaking look. It has a good amount of kill streaks. Like, trust me, it has something for everyone, because obviously you can shoot missiles from the air and stop your gameplay and you might die while doing the kill streak. But you also have the laser mortar, which do the same work, but you don't have to bust your gameplay and you don't have to die while using it. So yeah, it's very balanced. It has something for everyone. And the UI sucks. And why the fuck is there no maps voting? A huge downgrade. Plus, the skins are fucking cringe. I don't like fucking seeing Nicki Minaj just running around in Call of Duty game. What the hell is that? Well, the menu is cringe enough and it's a pretty commercial menu. Why the fuck do I have to see MW2 while playing MW1? Don't ask me. So yeah, that's it about the multiplayer of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. It's a fucking amazing multiplayer. I would put it up there with Battlefield 4 and stuff like that, because holy shit, the amount of enjoyment I had is extraordinary. Unfortunately, I don't own the game. It was my brother's, so I can't play that much, but from what I played, it was decent enough for me to continue playing, and I wish to buy it in the future, maybe. Well done, Infinity War. This might be my favorite multiplayer in any Call of Duty. So the story is pretty much about the Russian gas. Sounds familiar? So someone stole the gas from the Russians, and your goal is to investigate who actually stole the gas, and to investigate some terrorist attacks here and there, like getting the Qatala terrorist group leader, the Wolf, because he's bad. Yeah, that's Call of Duty Modern Warfare story. It's pretty much agenda driven story. Russian bad, Arab bad, American good. Call of Duty Modern Warfare story is pretty much a 7 out of 10 movie level story. So you have pretty much all of the characters in the game, including the protagonists, aren't that well written, and they don't have much of a character to them. Let's take on the protagonists, Alex and Kyle. We don't know much about them. We don't know about their background and what's their motivation to keep going. We know that about Kyle. But we don't know that about Alex. Let's take on Farah and Hadir. We know their background. And I do think they were written well, but the thing is, they are pretty uninteresting characters even when they show me their background. And trust me, no Arab guy will make his sister his leader. I can tell you that much. And holy shit, what's wrong with Farah's language? I can speak Arabic myself. She can't speak English.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain.
Or Arabic.
زلمة كفو.
It's Zilma Kafu.
يلا ولد دامي جهزوا لي هالقمر.
I don't even fucking know what she said there.
خبرني نعرف شو بيصير.
What? تخبرنا شو بيصير.
Write their numbers.
Anyway, leaving the characters aside, let's go to the villains. And holy shit, this is the most generic villains I have ever seen in my life. No villains, not the Butcher, not the Wolf, not Barkov, stands out as being a good villain. As far as I'm concerned, this is one of the worst characters in any Call of Duty. The only character that I like is Captain Bryce, and the only reason I like him because he acts cool.
No time!
Yeah, that's the only reason, because even Captain Bryce don't have that much details and characters to him. I wish we knew more about Captain Bryce, since in the first 3 Modern Warfares we didn't know much about him, and in this remake we still don't know much about him. So what's the point? I don't know where they were going with this, and I will never understand it. But I guess at least the presentation and the direction is good, and the music is pretty damn good actually.
Get a target!
Clearly the game knows how to tell a story, but it didn't tell a good one. So the game is a little bit more tactical now, more than ever. Nothing super different or anything, no, just Call of Duty with a lot of tactics moves, trust me. Even the movement and the new engine really helped push the game a lot. So the gunfights are now more real than ever. Therefore the combat is pretty decent and satisfying. And holy shit, if you bring me a clip from Modern Warfare and the clip from real life, I can't tell the difference probably. But of course, it's a Call of Duty, so it's gonna be scripted as hell. And almost everything you do in this one, you have done in the past. And I'm gonna bring up a point here. You see that sniper section? Guess who did it? Modern Warfare 1. That section when you have to stand still? mode. Guess who did it? Modern Warfare 1. This section right here, guess who did it? Right again. So pretty much this game doesn't bring anything new to the table, but it just increase on some things while decrease on other things. You see, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, which was released in 2007, was good in 2007. So if it was to release in 2019, yeah, it wouldn't hold up that well, trust me. And Call of Duty at this point need to make the range a lot wider in terms of gameplay. There were some interesting levels here and there. Lane House was nice. Highway of Death was nice. And a few nice levels here and there, but ultimately Call of Duty Modern Warfare campaign suffer from bringing nothing new to the table. I feel like Call of Duty at this point keep repeating itself over and over and over. As much as you hate campaigns like Infinite Warfare or Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3 even, you gotta admit that these games actually bring a lot to the table and we're trying to be innovative. But in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it's not even trying. And you have a lot of decisions which don't even affect the story. I don't see the point of having them in. So yeah, that's it about the gameplay. I think it's good at some points, but in other points it's just the same old Call of Duty. Call of Duty was always good in terms of combat system. Call of Duty gunfights have always felt nice. So what do you have for me? Nothing. New engine. So as far as graphic goes, Call of Duty Modern Warfare absolutely looks amazing. It's by far one of the most beautiful looking games when it released, and you can even be surprised sometimes in 2023. The textures looks pretty nice, faces looks super realistic, and the details on the gun, and not even on the guns, the details in the game as a whole was pretty tense, I have to say. Everything in this game seems super realistic, like the animation, holy shit, came out of a movie or something. However, sometimes when the enemies fall, it kinda be funny, and the optimization seems weird, because on one hand this game is highly demanding game, so I can understand that it needs a strong graphics card to run it, but I have an RTX, so how could it not run that well on my 3060 RTX? I don't know, but yeah, the game does looks amazing. The graphics and the shadows, the textures, everything in this game is highly detailed, and the crashing was really annoying. I had my game crashed like 3 times or something, and every time it was a huge frustration. And how come every time I die I have to wait like 25 seconds before I can respawn again? That shit was annoying as fuck. So yeah, that's it about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 story. While having some good quality content here and there, in the end it's just another Call of Duty, or shall I say a mid Call of Duty. So after we established that the campaign is mid, how's the Spec Ops? It's trash! Spec Ops is the reason of human starvation. Spec Ops is the reason you have to pay taxes. And I think Activision should slap everyone was involved in developing this mode. So where do we start? Okay, so there's pretty much 3 types of Spec Ops mission, which are the classic Spec Ops missions and the special operations and survival. Let's talk about the special operations. There's like a huge map and you have to do some objects like downloading data 5 times or something. And holy shit, the amount of enemies you have to face is unbearable. It's infinite points. Holy shit, do they laser you. And you start without shield, so pretty much you're 4 or 5 shots only and you're dead. I think it's stuck on veteran or something, because holy shit do they give damage, boy. And you have vehicles and the respawn is fucking broken. Holy shit, the special operations are very bad. I played only 2 missions and I've tried them like 5 times or something, and I can't even fucking complete them. I never thought I'd say this, but Spec Ops of MW 2019 is the first mode I have never completed in any Call of Duty. That should just tell you how bad it is. So that's it about the special operations. Now into the classic Spec Ops. It's bad as well. Too many freaking enemies and you die very fast. I'm gonna show you clips of how did I die. Take a look. So I jumped like only 2 meters or something and I'm dead. Okay, you can see the halo here, and he lasered me behind a wall. How the fuck did that happen? And here comes the Juggernaut and I can't even respond because I died so fast, so I couldn't understand what was happening. I have never finished a mission in the classic Spec Ops in this Modern Warfare, and holy shit, am I glad I will never play this again in my life. And I'm gonna dump the survival because the Spec Ops is pretty bad and I don't expect nothing from survival. So yeah, if it hasn't been clear, Spec Ops was broken in 2019 when the game released, and it's still broken in this year. Pretty much the people criticize it even today in the Reddit and some websites, and I can't blame them. The Spec Ops is the worst third mode mode in any Call of Duty, and by far the worst this game has to offer. While Call of Duty MW 2019 multiplayer offers a great enjoyment and almost well-rounded and perfect for all the different types of fan bases, Infinity Ward didn't do justice to this game by offering a mid-campaign and a bad Spec Ops. However, it's probably a very welcomed Call of Duty into the series and much needed one, trust me. So that's it. I didn't do a video about Black Ops 4 because I can't buy it these days because it's very expensive and it doesn't have players and it doesn't have campaigns, so why the fuck should I buy it? So I'm sorry I didn't do a video about that one, and thanks for watching. Take care.